stop.
Happy Easter weekend, everyone. Beautiful weather we've had, certainly here in Wiltshire the last few days. The ground's warmed up. It's now perfect conditions to start planting directly in the ground root vegetables, carrots, potatoes, parsnips, all that sort of stuff, which you can't really plant in, or it's not as easy to plant in seed boxes in advance. So I'm just going to show you very quickly the potatoes that we all chitted. I'm going to show you how we're going to plant them. I've planted some rows already because I don't want to bore you with all that. But anyway, to go back to this, you want straight rows. So I put my string out. All you need is 2 bits of stick and you tie a string in between because it's better to have things in straight rows. You need to dig a trench 6 inches deep, and the potatoes are going to be 12 inches roughly apart. You could see from these ones I've done the potatoes. This is 6-inch trench. Here you are, 6-inch trench, 12 inches apart I've done. Those ones I've already done and covered up. And the best thing I find for digging the trench, you either use the back end of a rake, or actually the best is this little gadget here that slots in and out of this. And it's very easy. You go down the line of where you are and just get pulling the soil out. And you see underneath, all this was rotavated by me a couple of days ago with the muck that I showed on an earlier thing having been put in, and you can see under the surface, although we've had this very dry weather, it's lovely and moist and damp. And the skill with the potatoes is they really are easy. You leave 2 foot between rows. So my row here, there's 2 foot to that row, 2 foot to that row, 2 foot to the next row. And when they start sprouting, which will be in a few weeks' time, we then peak them up. And I'll show you how to do that. You make like molehills, so it's all like on a molehill. That then protects potatoes from any frost, but also it gives them good soil from which to create a great crop. So there we are. Just took a couple of minutes to make the trench. So then these, what I've done is, because where you've got to do crop rotation, so I didn't want to plant the potatoes in the same place as last year. If you're planting potatoes for the first time, you haven't got that worry. But if you're then going to plant them again next year, you want to put them in a different place for this year. Because I'm putting these right on the end. I put my main crop over there, middle crop here, and these will be the first early. So these will be right first, then those, then the end. So it should make perfect sense. So what I'm going to do, very simple, put the potato in like this, eyes facing upwards, and 12 inches apart, roughly guess. I know roughly, if I had my trowel, a very good measure is when you're planting some things, if you're using a little trowel, you can mark on your trowel, because mark 6 inches, 12 inches, whatever, and you can always then use that as your gauge to roughly where they are, distances are. So perfect, in they go. Just put them in like this. 4 more to go. And I just need to make that trench a little bit bigger. There. The other thing I find is you'll find with all crops, some, for whatever reason, some fail. Some succeed better than others, which is why what I always do is make sure you mark the beginning and end with a stick so you know where your line is. Obviously, if you've got a label like these on theirs, and I then label each one as well. These are the potato foremost, so they would go there. And I will go and get a stick and eventually put a stick in here so I can see where the row started. So you could see where it's doing. I'm just going to put that there for now. And then you'll see, to finish them over, get the rake, use the wrong way round with the rake. And it really is very easy. Just fill both sides, back fill over. And you'll see all our potatoes disappear next time you'll see them, hopefully, is in a few weeks' time. That one, just tap it down so the soil is firm. If there's no rain in the next week, it's moist underneath as we saw. If there's no rain in the next week, I'll water these just to keep the soil moist. But look, this is a very quick job. It doesn't take long. This was a half row, because what I did, I've got 2.5 rows of main crop, then I've got 2 rows of mid crop and 1.5 rows of the earlies. Earlies, what one's hoping is to have nice new potatoes in June time, June, July, hopefully, when all this nightmare of COVID-19 is ended. And that one I've upset. So there we are, very easy, all planted, all mapped out, and the only thing they'll need now for the next few weeks is some water. If it did suddenly, frost started coming and it started to get really cold, the ground looked like freezing, I'd get my cloches out and cover them with cloches as well. Anyway, hope that was useful. Thank you.